Alrighty. It is Thursday night. So, here at NAGP, time for the GT Series. And in fact, tonight, special treat. We've got super qualifying at Spa. Here, I'm Jake Feemster here as usual with Jack Ivey. Hey, Jack.
Hello, Jake. It is Super Pole Thursday, mid-season classic, Spa. This is where all the pressure comes down to these guys. One flyer, one hot lap, and it'll set the grid for the sprint, which will set the grid for next week, Jake.
Yep. The top two keep their positions this time, like usual.
Absolutely.
Alrighty. So, this is, I think they're just wrapping up the drivers' meeting now. So,
yeah, for you guys out there that aren't familiar with it, it looks like in the practice session, David Maros had the fastest practice time. He's going to get to be able to elect if he goes out first or last, and that'll set the qualifying order. So it's always a pressure cooker. Even Jake, when they're going out and doing these Super Pole laps, it's very important that even if they spin or they get spun off the track or they're putting in a poopy lap, they really got to get in and just complete the lap, because some guys will crash out and end, and every position is going to be important.
Absolutely. Just walking back through here, looking at all the cars. Only 23 drivers here so far. So we're short a few people. In particular, we're short Matt Taylor, Jesse Olsen, McIntyre. Phil Vitt wasn't with us last week. Kobus, Trevor Snowden, Iggy, and I forget who's there at the bottom.
Yeah. The field is smaller this week, that's for sure. Jesse Olsen had a no qual, so. Then again, they're racing for their for position for the start for next week.
Right. Yeah, I think Jesse Olsen actually just couldn't be here. I think he has something else going on. So, we got David Maros going out first. Okay, so he's on his. I suppose he's on his warm-up lap.
Yep, he'll be on his out lap, and when he goes by start-finish for his hot lap, the next driver out will get on track and do their out lap, and so on and so forth through the order. So a good call by David to get out there early. Sometimes you can go cold if you're going to sit there for maybe 45 minutes or more waiting.
Right.
Now, a quick little mention out there to our viewers. Hey, welcome to the NAGP, you guys out there. Go on and throw up on the chat room there. I've got you up. I'm watching you. We're going to be watching for cuts at Eau Rouge.
Oh, yes.
And that could negate your hot lap.
Yeah, we don't want to see that happen. Have some very unhappy drivers around here.
So it's going to be Maros, David Maros, Zack Hefner, Adamson, Kirkbride, and Montgomery are going to be the top five.
All right. And here comes Maros coming around. Start his lap here.
Nice and tight in that first corner there.
You made a good point about starting first, but it also means that everybody else will know the time to beat here. David Maros is not going to put in a slow time, but those guys will push even harder if he gets more than they expect him to.
Well, yeah, he's got to put in a decent time, because nerves tend to play a part here on Super Bowl night. He knows that he's got 23 plus the viewers watching him do his lap.
Yes, broadcaster's curse in full effect here for all the drivers for this Super Bowl session. That compounded with the fact that everybody in pit lane's watching them too. So, yeah, quite the pressure here.
Yeah, these Porsches, the Porsches, Benz, and the Ford GTs seem to be doing well in early practice. Nice line so far from David.
Well, you could not get on that paint in the Lotus. That was bad news. You had to stay off of there.
Down through Blanchemont. And up into the chicane.
All right. And so behind him, Zack Hefner.
And David Merrill's at a 2:15.614. That is indicative of his fast times out there in practice.
All right.
Hefner starting his hot lap with Adamson sitting in the ready position. Both these first two drivers, Jake, are using all of that curb there at the top of Eau Rouge.
Yeah.
Yep, hanging it real wide out there. This is a real fun course. This is probably one of the league's favorite tracks.
Oh yeah, it's one of my personal favorites. Yeah. Just a fantastic race here Monday. I didn't do very well, but it was still, it's just such a fun track, you know.
Well, being the, it's pretty much in every Thursday night is in every Thursday night season that we've had for, boy, as long as I can remember. And, that's very helpful that you don't have to go out and learn a new track, Jake. I mean, everybody knows the track.
Yeah.
It's just getting your car set up for this track is the only work you got to do.
I'm not sure if it's visually accurate, but Zack looks like his car is so close to the ground it's scraping. Those side skirts are low. So, look at that. Hefner up by 3/10.
If he was scraping, he wasn't scraping much.
No. Clearly it wasn't a problem for him. It might just be the skin. I'm not sure if the visual impact and the actual bottom have any relationship. So
Adamson on his hot lap with Kirkbride in the ready position, and we've got Hefner taking the provisional pole at a 2:15.325.
it will be interesting to see what these guys can do. Adamson's down 3/10 in the first sector, but I think so is Hefner. So Well, maybe. Right, that's down on Hefner's time, so we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, Hefner was down about 2/10 in the first sector.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, nice lines through there in Campus and Stavelot.
Yeah, but not, 4/10 down in Sector 2. Got up to 164 miles an hour there. So, yeah. Let's see if Kirkbride improves on that time a little bit. Maybe the Mercedes is suffering around here. How much ballast do these guys have? Andrew's got 30 kilograms and Kevin's got 20 kilograms. So not as much as, it'll affect them certainly, but not as much as Andrew last week with the 70. Or maybe that was 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Andrew had 30 and Kirkbride's got 20 on board.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that ballast may play into it. You're right, Jake, because Zack and David are out in front, not by much, but they're out in front and they're not carrying any weight. So it'll be interesting to see if Captain Kirk can improve on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Adamson had 70 kilograms last week and he finished 9th or 10th, I think. It was a big drag on him, and then I don't think he remembered that you only lose 40 kilograms, so he's still got 30 kilograms left from it for this event. So we'll see. That's going to have him somewhere more towards the middle, but shouldn't be too bad. He might still be in the top 10 around here. He's still, much less than a second away from Hefner's time. Andrew Adamson really looked pretty quick through there. Excuse me, Kevin Kirkbride, actually.
Yeah, he's pretty close there on the first sector and second sector. He's going to pick up. He might end up able to pick up maybe P2 out of this.
Yeah, he might.
Well, if he keeps it nice and clean.
Yep.
That extra ballast, it all depends on the torque he keeps coming out of this chicane here, if he can keep the speed up after this slow chicane here. A little wheel spin there.
A little bit. Up to third. All right, so who's next? Okay, Salem Montgomery, so we got to switch your camera a little bit here. Ford. First Ford of the evening, we'll see how he does.
Yep, these Fords were pretty lively in the practice.
Oh, yeah. I think Salem was already pretty happy with the performance of that Ford, and so the balance of performance could have improved it just a little bit. And probably got pretty excited, as you said. Lots of drivers really like this track. So.
Well, he's already up in the first sector.
Oh yeah, looking good. Getting on the power early through these slow turns. What he needs. Now this turn can make or break a lap.
Nicely done.
Yeah, it looks quick. Oh, yeah.
This campus complex is really nice when you get it.
You know,
right.
that looks fine,
It really
but then
sucks when you blow it.
look at that, 0.6 off. Yeah, I didn't see him make a mistake, but clearly those other guys have figured out something about the line through there that maybe Salem doesn't know. Or maybe he made a mistake that I missed.
It looked pretty clean. I think
Yeah.
you're right. I think the other guys just had a faster way through it.
Yeah. Oh, pretty wide there. Well, right, that doesn't matter. Chicane. Here we go. So, 5th for now. Sean Ricker's up.
Yep, back to back, 4 GTs.
Keeping it clean around here mostly. These guys so far. Guys in the chat, I'm watching. Let me know if there's any issue. Got any comments or suggestions here? Because we can do whatever you want, unless you don't want us to watch the race.
I'm watching the live feed, but I'm having extreme problems with the. We've got severe storms through here, Jake, tonight, so I'm okay watching the broadcast, but my live feed has gone to heck in a handbasket.
Oh, really? Well, Sean Ricker is on pace in Sector 1 and 0.4 down in Sector 2, so that Ford losing time in Sector 2 for both of these guys. But he could still get up to 4th here.
Yeah, again, the Ford GTs just don't seem to be handling that middle sector.
Oh, goodness. A little bit of wheel spin there.
Good save.
Yeah, good save, but it's going to cost him 6th place. Cup it's up. Let's see it. Uses quite a lot of the curb there.
Another Nissan. Hefner put his on the pole so far.
Did.
So.
Lots of long straights here. Maybe it's good for the Nissan.
A little sloppy going through there.
A little bit.
But that might be sloppy fast. We'll have to wait and see.
He's up 0.2 in Sector 1, so I'd say it was. Oh, that looks scary.
Yikes. Yikes.
Might not have costed him much, but it costed him a little bit. He wasn't able to get on the power there.
Well, you got to hand it to him. He's hanging it out there.
Yeah.
Boy,
Oh,
really aggressive
my
on
goodness.
those
Yeah, he
corners
is.
there.
See that Sector 2 time.
very aggressive on those corners.
Yep. Going from curb to curb.
And all of the curve.
Yeah, so he lost a whole second to Zack's time in between in sector 2 there. So should have paid closer attention. Clearly, they got some kind of secret.
No, I think Jonathan just sort of overcooked it there.
Yeah.
Maybe overdrove it a little bit in that middle sector.
Yep. You're probably right.
And out in the slippery stuff. That's not going to help him either.
No, it's not. So he's 7th for now. These guys are mostly finishing in order. David got out, or Hefner got out ahead of David, who's up. It's Mark DeGraw and another Ford, so all the Fords are bunched up here. Yeah. Chris Moses pulling out behind him.
Well, they're laying it out there for us, Jake. Now, I didn't get a chance to do any laps. Is the green areas, are they fairly slippery? Or
yeah, they're pretty
grippy?
slippery. In the Lotus, you know, you had a lot of wheel spin if you went over there and tried to accelerate. You really couldn't. So we stayed off of it. But I think these guys, having a lot less power and a little more weight, can use it a little more than us, and I think they will to make that turn as wide as possible. Because they're accelerating straight and they're not having any traction issue on that left side tire, that right side, the outside tire. So we'll see how the quickest guys do it. I think Hefner maybe wasn't as aggressive on the past the curve as some of these guys have been. So we'll see.
Yeah, I used to find the light green wasn't bad. The dark green was a little slippy. Picked up P7.
Yep. Here comes Moses on the super soft. That was another interesting thing about doing this track in the Lotus, is that you could not use the qualifying tire. It overheated in sector 3, and then you'd spin out at the chicane every time. So you couldn't use that tire. Qualified on the soft, like most of these guys are.
So I didn't see him do his outlap, but you can bet it was pretty easy going to preserve those super softs.
Right. See if he has any issues in this game.
Car's a few miles an hour slower than the other guys at the end of that straightaway, though.
Yeah.
He's dead even. Dead even, though.
Dead even. Wow.
Knowing Chris, you can bet that car is loose, hard to handle, but as fast as he can make it.
Yeah, you're probably right. And he uses all of the curb there, so he thinks it's fast.
Yeah, good entrance into that complex there, and letting it run wide a little bit.
Right.
That's probably the cleanest I've seen anybody go through that sector, though.
Yeah.
He's right there. He's going to pick up a bunch of spots if he can keep this together.
Yes, indeed.
Coming around the final chicane. And again, that was as clean as anybody I've seen go through there, too.
Yep. Up to 4th.
P4.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. As Sabo comes around.
In the Porsche. Now, hey, Peter Zawa's carrying 400 Ks too. Using all the curb there, Jake.
Up 2/10.
Hot so far.
JT Laro ready to go behind him.
I think Peter's on a pretty good lap here.
Yeah, but Sector 2 has been, as we've seen, the defining sector of your lap time here, so don't, yeah, see they're 0.5 back, so still though, you get up to 5th.
Yep. Nope, still so far, that's good enough. It's good enough for P2 right now.
Yeah, and 40 kilograms. P2? No. Moses is only 0.3 back. Yeah, we'll see. All right, up to P5.
Yeah, lost another 0.4 in that last sector.
No, he's a little quick in that last sector. He lost half a second in Sector 2. He lost actually 0.7 in Sector 2 when you consider the time he, yeah. So Sector 2 really been the challenge here for these drivers so far.
JT out on his hot lap.
Parsons is staging. So. Good to see the Corvettes up here in contention. Although it's interesting that they're on softer tires. I wonder if we will see the same for the endurance race.
Yeah, good observation, Jake. It'll be interesting to see what these guys go out on.
And speaking of super softs, Aaron Parsons is going out on the super softs too. So.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Parsons and Moses, they'll just go out and be very gentle on their out lap and leave nothing but their guts on the table for their hot lap.
Right. Sector 2 again.
Yeah. It's been the nemesis of all the drivers.
Yeah, those first guys must have been really quick through there. It'll be interesting. You know, it's not a place in the track you can really pass, so it'll be interesting to see how they try to use that to their advantage during the race. I'd say that, but that, you know, it's a big sector. I really just mean I think most of that time is in that wide left hand where you go all the way around. Up to 8, not bad.
JT up to P8.
Yeah.
Good lap. The Thunder from down under, Aaron Parsons. Came through Eau Rouge real nice. I'm interested to see what his top speed is down the end here. He's as fast as anybody we've had so far coming down there.
And he's
look
up
at that.
0.3 in
He's
sector
up.
1.
You know, Aaron, it wouldn't surprise me. You know, some of these top drivers, you know, they're definitely going to be running, you know, a super pole setup and a race setup.
Right. That's John Ludden lining up to go around.
Well, I'm going to be real interested in his middle sector here because, boy, he's looking really quick through here. Hey, this is going to be interesting if he can keep this this last sector together.
You know, I just noticed Kirkbride and Moses got the same time.
Yeah, identical. Down through Blanchemont.
Up to 5th.
Whoa. Absolutely in behind his old nemesis, Chris Meadows.
Ludden out, and that is
John Ludden.
Bjorn Heyman ready to go behind him.
Yeah, Ludden in the Porsche carrying 30 kilos of freight.
That's what you get for winning, John.
It's just about the size of my lunch bag.
30 kilograms. Is that for winning, or is that penalty for something? I don't remember. He did really well last week, I thought. Anyway, up on time here in Sector 1, so not bad. You know, Hefner doesn't have any weight, but...
Well, you know, we knew this was going to be all close. Again, you know, Jake, this is indicative of this whole season so far, you know, before the so-called balance of performance and after. We had the top 15 cars in practice were within 1 second.
Right, yeah.
Boy, on the power quick. Oh, out into that green. I don't like that. That always makes me nervous.
Well, like you said, the top 15 guys, and we're running through them now, we're in 1 second. And in fact, we're seeing these guys get slower times in this session than they have in practice. So the pressure definitely getting to some of these guys. little bit slower in Sector 2 is John Ludden, but he could still get up there into the top 5. See how he gets through the chicane here.
Yeah, these Porsches are pretty nimble, so... Oop, a little bump on the curb there.
Didn't seem to hurt him too bad. It did, though. All the way down in 9th, so...
I do. I think that last curb, that bump on the curb, I think that took a little bit out of there.
Yeah, when you did hit that in the Lotus, it was real trouble. I should have done a few laps in our BMW and seen how that felt.
I did. It felt like jumping over a curb.
Oh, yeah.
In the real world.
Yeah.
Bjorn Heyman out on his hot lap.
Yep. About halfway through these drivers.
Now, maybe you can explain that. On the back of these Porsches here, Heymans and Cuppets. Does it actually read God?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, correct.
Enlighten me.
Jack, I think if you're a mega church, you can sponsor anything. That's maybe that's the rule. I don't think we want to get too far into that discussion because.
No, just I was just wondering. I'm on a tail cam here watching Bjorn's lines going through the corners, and I just noticed that, and I was just wondering. Good to have the Almighty,
right,
watching your back.
It's it's great to have his money to go race. It's always good. Yeah, we had drivers turning their nose up at that particular paint job on that car, actually.
You know what? Heyman had it. I should have mentioned this early. He had a great middle sector there. No, he didn't. He had a stinky middle sector.
Yeah, his middle sector.
1 second off. Sorry, I just saw the .1 and I thought that was as good as anybody's done. But it was a 1.1. Sorry about that, Bjorn. Another Merc out on the course. Abe Wozniak.
Yep, and the boss is behind him on the super softs again. So all the American muscle we've seen out here has been on the super softs. German muscle, Abe Wozniak, Kevin Kirkbride, Andrew Adamson in the Merc has been on the softs.
That was really fast for Abe going through there.
Oh, look at that. Way wide out of there.
Broadcaster's curse.
Oh, goodness.
But, he was about 7 or 8 miles an hour faster than anybody I've watched go through there.
Yeah, and his sector 1 time was great. And it goes way wide there. I don't think he hit the wall, but that was close.
No, I'm on a tail cam. And it was really close, but he didn't hit anything.
Hit it.
But
Good.
He was mowing the grass out there.
Yeah. Keep it together, Abe. Using every bit of that curve.
Big push through that corner, though.
Yeah, so sector 2, almost 2 seconds off there.
Well, that can be a problem, you know, if you make a mistake and then you try to get back on it to try and gain some of that time back. Sometimes that time is gone for you.
Yeah. 2.4 will put him in 15th for now, but I expect a couple guys to hop in front there. As Al begins his lap.
Big Al, the boss, Merriman, in his Viper. He was doing pretty good in practice in the Viper there, but that looked a little sloppy coming out of that first corner. Al's on the super softs as well.
Mm-hmm.
Really decent first sector there.
Yeah, not bad at all, but sector 2 decides here.
Used all the curbing, all the pavement on that corner.
Yep, that's Dan Thorpe in the Mercedes behind him, ready to go.
In through Campus, down through Stavelot. Again, that middle sector.
Yeah, middle sector will beat you,
Yeah.
but he's still got the potential to get up into the top 12 there. Maybe.
Yeah. $14.
Yep. So it's Dan Thorpe's turn.
In another one of the Mercs.
Yep. And on the soft tire, just like the rest of them.
Real close on that one, Dan, coming through Eau Rouge.
Yeah, it was a little scary.
So far, a nice clean lap for Dan.
Yep. Not particularly fast in Sector 1, but not so slow as to put him out of the top 10 yet. Sector 2, though, as we've seen, will decide. And he's got a 1.22 there, so not too bad compared to some of the times we've seen, you know. So we'll see him probably hop up here in between 10 and 14.
Yep. He may start in the points.
Right. Watch the curb. Clean exit. Okay, up to 15th. Oh,
Yep, provisionally P15.
just barely behind Al there. All right, Brad's out, so this will be exciting, and he's on the medium tire. That's very interesting. You know, so these guys had to run the hard a couple weeks ago, and they really said it wasn't a problem. I wonder if Brad's going to be running the hard here for the feature race.
Well, yeah. Well, the first this dash for the cast is only 14 laps though, so they'll cook their tires right as much as they can. But Brad's carrying 20 kilos.
Yeah.
Big bag of potatoes back there in that Lambo.
David Zahn queuing up behind him.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this Lambo handles this middle sector. Yeah, Abs up on the chat room, and the 35 minutes of driving, yeah, is not a good thing, Ab. Definitely some of the guys don't like hanging around that long.
Yeah.
And again, the Lambo just that center sector seems to be the nemesis for everybody out here tonight.
Yeah, although Brad wasn't very fast in Sector 1 either. But yeah, as you said, a whole second. A lot of these guys are losing a whole second there in Sector 2 or even more than that. But up to 16th goes Brad. So, in the 2-second club. Switch over to
David Zahn.
David Zahn. In another
same car,
same
20
car,
kilos lighter.
Same car, same tire compound. By the way,
well,
Jack,
staying true to form, you know, when we used to run the old what is it, GT2 or whatever it was series, the Lambos always ate up the tires.
Yeah, maybe that's also true here since they're having to use a hardier compound for their runs. You know, as I said, that Sector 3, lots of speed there, so it heats up the tires pretty good.
Well, you can see, you know, pretty much just about every one of the drivers is taking a very similar line. You know, that complex there, Pouhon. You know, some of the cars are going a little wider than others, but pretty much everybody knows the driving line around this track. Well, Jake, I'm looking for one of these guys to lay a hot one down, but it almost looks like the from here on in, it looks like the practice order is going to be the start order.
Yeah, you might be right about that. Although Zahn and the others, well, no, as to say that, maybe not for David Zahn, but they will have an opportunity here to get ahead of Wozniak 2.5 off the pace. So we'll see if any of these guys can get a little further up there. As Ziggy goes out for his lap in the Astons. This is the first Aston we've seen this evening.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how this the big Aston Martin handles this track.
Yeah. Justin Lamkit in the Audi, I think, is behind him getting ready to go. He's new, I think, right? He's teaming up with Phil Vitt, as I understand it, but Phil is not here, so maybe he just took a place on
Yeah, who? Hello, Justin.
Yeah.
Who the heck are you? Do you know
Yeah,
me?
welcome. We'll see him take his lap. That's a lot of pressure here for your first run around, but we'll see how he does here.
Not a bad first sector for Iggy.
No, not at all. Like I said, he probably will jump up ahead of some of these guys that made a mistake. Oh, wow. Got some very creative camera angles here for the Aston. One of them was 10 or 20 feet in the air ahead of the car.
Yeah, a little sloppy in that center sector again.
Yeah. Chicane. Haven't seen anybody make a mistake around here yet.
Whoa.
He's a little wide there. Yeah. All right, 3.1. So, yeah, all the way at the back. Maybe you're right. Maybe the practice order will stand here. That first sector time was pretty good there. All right, Justin, let's see what you can do.
Justin Lamke, NAGP Thursday night debut.
Yep.
And our first look at the Audi tonight.
Yes, indeed. Looks great.
Now, Phil Vitt was driving the Audi, and I'm sorry he's not here tonight because it looked like he was getting a pretty good handle on that car. It looked
pretty quick, exactly right. Some of the guys were saying that Chris Moses and JT Laro should have switched to the Audi or the maybe even the McLaren instead of that Corvette before the balance of performance anyway. So, yeah, and like you said, after the balance of performance, I think the Audi maybe lost a little weight. I think just 5 kilograms or something, not much, but just a little bit to spice it up. Oh, and I just realized, of course, Justin Lamke, his first race with us has his 40 kilograms of introductory ballast. So expect a slower time out of him than he would achieve otherwise.
Well, you know what? For Justin, it's a good race to start in. It's just the qualifying race for next week's endurance race here at Spa. So a good time to get in and shake off that 40 kilos.
That's a great point. The last qualifying race we saw here was our opener, and it was pretty rowdy. So we'll see if Justin can get through okay from the back here, as he's 3.4 down in sector 2. So he's going to be at the back, at least the 21st for now.
That's okay. Pretty intimidating. New guy out on the track, new league for him, and first race, got to go out there all by yourself and have us all critique you. So no critique here. I think he's doing a great job.
Yeah, well, 40 kilograms.
Oh, there we go. A broadcaster's curse. Sorry, Justin. Happens to the best of them.
Yeah, that chicane's hard to get right. So 4.8, that's going to put him towards the back. Sergio Calderon can do a little better than that. I bet he can. Of course, he doesn't have 40 kilograms to contend with, so.
Yep, Sergio out on the softs in the Corvette. Yeah, they cut some excess metal off this Corvette.
They did indeed. Gave it a little more power and a little more aero drag. Was that a cut? I think he was on the curb there, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm on the tail cam there, and I don't think unless he pops this thing up into the top 10, I don't think anybody's going to say much about it.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, he's 1.1 down in Sector 1, so I don't think that's going to happen. Sergio...
no, because everybody's losing a second or better in this middle sector.
Right, exactly. Sergio's had a little trouble finding the pace in the vet. Even after the balance of performance, he hasn't been as quick in it as some of the other guys. So we'll see what he can pull off here.
In through Puhan. Nice and clean through campus. This Stavelot, this corner's always given me nightmares, that Stavelot there.
It's scary. You can come out very fast and get on the power, but you can also come out very fast, get on the power, and very quickly lose the rear end and be going in a very different direction.
Oh, but it's an important one to get out of there quick.
Yeah.
And Sergio definitely struggling through that middle sector.
Yep. Okay. We're coming to our last few drivers here. Sergio's pretty far back. Carlos in the Ferrari. See how that goes for him. A little bit of a lock up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's interested to see how fast this Ferrari gets going at the end of the Camel Straight. Good speed at the top of the hill.
Look who's at the end there. Matt Taylor. That must have been intentional. Maybe he wanted to go last.
Yeah. Sneaky guy.
Sneaky guy.
Oh, Carlos as well. He's carrying 40 kilos of freight as well.
Did he just switch cars? Because we haven't seen this Ferrari before. I think he did. I don't know. I'll have to check the threads.
I know, I've always liked the Ferrari, though. I don't know what it's like this season, but I've always liked the Ferrari.
Well, it's a Kuno's car, right? I think it is. It looks good on the inside. I'm pretty sure it is.
Nice livery.
Yeah, yeah.
Enough air vents on that. Almost looks like an F-18.
Yeah. It's the turbo era now. He's 4.9 back, but if he can get a decent Sector 3 together, he might still get ahead of Sergio. Omar Gomez is in the other Aston. He's Iggy's teammate, so we'll see what he can accomplish here. Iggy, of course, is where is Iggy? Up in 20th. Kind of the last of the drivers in a line there as far as times go. I think the guys further back might have, well, they're just starting out, or made a little bit of a mistake. 7 seconds back, so he is behind Sergio, and Omar Gomez starts his lap. He gets a little lockup.
Yeah, might have to work on the brake bias there, Omar.
Yeah, that was one of the issues I had when I drove these cars. They seemed eager to lock up that inside tire. But I was used to, I think I was used to braking a little later. Not sure. Omar's got damage on that car. I think his hood's up. He's got front end damage. You seeing that?
No, I'm not actually.
Huh. Especially if you go look, it's first person, that hood's shaking. You can barely see it from the inside of the cockpit, but if you go up to the front, you can see it. Anyway, hopefully he's fine. 0.9 in Sector 1, so he can move up here.
That's one sweet looking ride, though.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Omar's probably going to pick up a few places here.
Yeah, I think so. He still lost more than 2 seconds there in Sector 2, but that's what we've been seeing. So, see how Sector 3 is. And chicane, you know, been tripping people up a little bit. Oh, he locks up again. Stays off that curb, though. So he gets ahead of Sergio and Carlos. All right, Matt Taylor, though. He's not one we call slow here. Looks like he was a little late starting his outlap.
Well, you know, waiting to the back of the pack there, he might have fallen asleep.
Yeah, yeah, he might have. Okay, so he's gonna come around here, start his lap. Matt Taylor again, one of the quicker guys in the league, and here in a fast car. So he will go right after his top times here. Start to see a very fast lap.
Nice and clean on the first corner.
Yep. Up 0.2, Sector 1.
Hot.
Yep, but he's got to keep it together for Sector 2 to really get that time right.
He's pretty quick through there, and that was about one of the fastest cars I've seen going through there in a long time.
That's an interesting section of corners because you can take more speed, I think, into that middle straight than you think you can. So there were times when I looked at my, relative, and I was seeing myself going green through there, and I didn't even understand how. I was just had more power applied. Looking smooth through here. And he is. But again, losing a little over half a second in that sector. So look for him to take top 5, maybe top 10, certainly.
Yeah, if he can have a good back half here, it will put him well within the top 10.
Ooh, a little bit of lock
Locking
up
her
there. A little bit wide. And he's got to correct there a couple times. So, slow sector 3 puts him out of the top 10. Wow. Okay.
Yep, that last chicane, Jake. I mean, that cost him easy 3, maybe 4 positions.
So, what's our order then? Back up here.
And, you know, that's pretty good. The top 10 drivers within 1 second of each other.
Yep, you got it.
And I want to thank all the viewers. Mid-season Classic. All 22 of you out there. Thank you very much for joining us.
So we got a short little race now, 12 laps. And basically, so Zack Hefner and David Maros have positions 1 and 2 for the endurance race next week, the 2-hour race here at Spa. But the rest of these guys are those positions are still up for grabs. They've got to fight through this 12-lap race, and that'll decide the order of positions 3 through the back. So. Quite the challenge here for these drivers, because these short races they're really going for it. So hopefully we don't see too much of the too much argy-bargy here in the opening lap.
Yeah, we're going to see that. Yeah, it's going to be a smozzle. No, it is. It's a dash for the cash. It's a short race. These guys are all going to go for it. But just a quick observation. You got the Nissan on the pole, Porsche in the second, Benz in third, Corvette in fourth, Viper in fifth. So 5 different badges in the top 5 spots.
That reflects.
So guess what? I guess this car pack is just what we talked about. It's as balanced as it's ever going to get.
Yeah, and that reflects well, I think, on the decisions made, the balance and performance, moving that Corvette and Viper up to finally be in contention with these guys that have been in the front all season. So that's pretty exciting. We got a lot to watch for here with everybody up front.
Yeah, and the Ford GTs. You know, we got Salem in the top 10. He's sitting in P8, but the Ford GTs have moved up. I mean, they only lost like 7 kilos in the balancing, but you know, just that extra little bit, you know, can sometimes make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Salem's had some trouble starting. Had a poor start last week and had to make up for it most of the race. So we'll keep an eye on him as we start here. I guess we should go ahead and run through the order if you'd like. I'll start. We got Zack Hefner in first place in his Nissan. David Maros is in second place in the Porsche. Kevin Kirkbride is currently missing for some reason, but he's in third place. He's in his Mercedes. Then we got Chris Moses in the Vet and Aaron Parsons in the Viper here. So Peter Sabo's the first duplicate car we see in the Porsche, and then Andrew Adamson not far behind his teammate in the Mercedes. Sam Montgomery Jr. is in 8th. He's our first Ford. John Ludden's in 9th, and JT Laro is in 10th.
Sean Ricker is in 11th. Matt Taylor in 12th. Mark DeGraw in 13th. Jonathan Cuppett in 14th, and Big Al Merriman in the Viper in 15th. Dan Thorpe in the Benz in 16th. Brad Maris in the Lambo in 17th. And I'm going to watch. I think Brad's going to make a move here. He's not going to end up there. Bjorn Heyman in 18th. Ab Wozniak in 19th. Dave Vazan in 20th.
Alrighty, and then rounding us out here, Iggy Cordia is in 21st. Justin Lamb, you're going to have to tell me how to pronounce your last name, bud, but you're in 22nd. Omar Gomez is in 23rd. Sergio Calderon's in 24th. And Carlos in his Ferrari rounds up the back, and then there's us. So, Pretty exciting.
Absolutely. Hey, Jake, can you see the chat room?
I can.
What is going on out there in that chat room there, boys?
I don't see anybody talking in it, which is strange, right?
Well, I saw all sorts of stuff I didn't really want to see.
Uh,
But lots of action here. And, of course, this race isn't going to mean too much, but, it's going to set the order for next week's endurance race.
oh, okay. All right, now my chat's working. I don't know why it wasn't before, but yeah, there's some noise. I don't know who these people are, but whatever. Do what you want, I guess. We don't really care. 50 seconds to go here.
They're not talking about racing, I can tell you that much, folks.
I don't think they're talking.
Lots of pictures going up there. I don't know what's going on. This whole tech world has left me behind. This old dog here. I just want to go racing tonight, and we're at Spa Mid-Season Classic Thursday night GT racing, folks.
$20 seconds to go. Lights should come up soon. Our cars should disappear.
Pick a winner, Jake. Pick a winner. Who do you think?
I like Hefner. I mean, he's been great this season, and he doesn't have any ballast this week, so let's see it. But David Maros might have a good start here. Our cars are in. Here we go. Oh, and Salem has a slow start again. So trouble getting off the line there. I'm not sure what that's about. And Maros is on the outside. Looks quick. Hefner stays in the lead for now. Looking back through, looks like everybody's getting through okay. Some people are a little bit slow.
They got through the first corner. Okay.
Yeah.
A little sloppy, a little aggressive, but okay. And it looks like they're all getting through. They all got through Eau Rouge. Okay.
Well, Maros got out ahead of Hefner, so we'll look for Hefner to close that gap. Maros, of course, he doesn't have any weight. I'm sorry about that. He doesn't have any weight, so none of these guys up front have any ballast to contend with here. Wow.
Whoa, okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 8 cars at the back.
Chaos at the back. Looks like, unfortunately, Brad was involved in that. Back up towards the front. David's still in the lead. All right.
Yeah, a little update there. Brad Maris's car is pretty much, I don't know how he's going to keep it on the track. I think the hood's going to come off any minute now.
I don't know if he's got any suspension damage or not here. Sam Montgomery Jr. getting alongside Adamson here. Looking dangerous, guys. Looking dangerous. Gets ahead.
Ball by Adamson, too.
Yeah, he does. So Adamson
oh,
goodness.
Andrew and Salem.
Oh,
Taylor.
goodness gracious. Who's that? Looks like that's Sean Ricker. And I'm not sure who else that was. Goodness gracious. It's like Peter Szabo.
Well, I told you.
Oh, goodness.
I told you this is going to be a dash for the cash.
We got a scary looking train of cars here. Looks like
Where are you, Jake?
I am watching Kirkbride Parsons and Peter Szabo here. Peter Szabo right on the tail of Parsons. Really no room for any of these guys to make a mistake right now.
12 laps around here is going to go real quick.
Yeah, it is.
And we have, folks, we got more red flags up than you can shake a stick at, which means, to us, it means everybody's nose to tail.
Yes, absolutely. So we are, we're looking. Looks like Ricker's taking the fight to, Al Merriman. 5, 6, 3, 6, 7.
Yeah, they're in a bit of a freight train back there, that's for sure.
Yeah, they are. And Hefner, I missed where Hefner got back ahead of Maros, but he's ahead, and he's just turned the fastest lap of the race so far. So
Kirkbride making a move on Chris Moses.
yes, he is. Good call. On the outside.
Oh, Moses spins it.
I don't know if there was a bump there. Did you see one? I don't see any damage on Kirkbride's car.
Moses just spun.
Yeah,
he just spun on his own under the pressure. But you know what? Look at that. I got to tell you, there he is. He is backed out from P3 and waited till P18 to rejoin. Way to go, Chris. That's the way you do it, guy.
Yeah, that's what happened to me on Monday. It's a hard place to spin. You are in the way there. Okay, so Peter Szabo still behind Aaron Parsons. It's like, oh goodness, Matt Taylor goes way wide, looking for a way around Salem Montgomery Jr.
Salem on the inside, Taylor on the outside.
Oh goodness. Just freaky spot to be side by side there. Salem runs all the way off into the oh goodness.
Oh, I can't believe it. I
Wow.
can't believe it. He got turned back around again.
Yeah, good.
That guy has got a horseshoe in the back of that car.
Yeah, you might be right. Boy, that
I
car.
have no idea how that happened.
That car sure does look ugly after it takes
around.
damage. All right. That's too bad for Salem. Had a little bit of a slow start. Looks like his luck.
Well, Taylor and Montgomery, they weren't given, and something had to give.
Yeah.
But if you go back there, Salem's back to P12, but you got Montgomery, JT, DeGraw, Cuppet.
Yeah, all these guys are in a line. Jeez. So, up front, we got Hefner leading Maros, leading Kirkbride, but those guys are a little more spread out. Kirkbride, Parsons, and Peter Szabo are together. Then we got Taylor, Ludden, Adamson, Cuppet, and DeGraw, and JT Laro, and Salem Montgomery Jr., and Abe Wozniak all on the line there. See, I think that's Abe Wozniak. Yep, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Then
and Al Montgomery and Dan Thorpe and Ricker have pretty much caught up to this.
Pretty much caught up with the group now. So we have a train of about 8 cars here. Maybe that's 10. I can't even count. 1, 2, 3. I can't count that many. I don't know. I can't count that high. Can't do it. It's too many cars.
Yeah, there is 10. There's 10 cars in that freight train.
So wow. All right.
And David Zahn and Chris Moses they're closing up on this freight train as well. We have got 10 cars nose to tail, all coming through. Eau Rouge.
Mark DeGraw going to go on the outside of JT Laro here.
Now we've got Kirkbride, Parsons, and Szabo. Kirkbride and Szabo just got by Parsons.
DeGraw gets by. Uh-oh. Parsons making a mistake there? Kirkbride was already by. Szabo was behind Parsons. I think Parsons might have
just a little slower, and these guys just sort of like swarmed them like you know, like the bees to honey.
Mark DeGraw right on the tail of Jonathan Cuppet now. Quite a battle here in the middle.
Yeah, well, DeGraw's got his rear mirror full of JT Laro. JT's going by Mark DeGraw.
Yes, he is. Taking that position back.
And Montgomery's in behind them saying, I'm coming too. With Wozniak and Merriman in behind. What a freight train. You know, that's like from 6.
Oh, Abe Wozniak makes
17.
a mistake there. Now Merriman might be able to capitalize, but I don't know if he goes off track.
Peter Szabo all over the back end of Kirkbride.
Yep, he's been gaining a little bit.
So Hefner and Merosh, they got a bit of a gap there. They're a little comfortable, but Szabo and Parsons not too far back.
Peter Szabo is right on Kevin Kirkbride's tail. We'll see if he chooses to stay behind here and try to use the draft after this corner to pass. Clearly the draft is not as big a factor here on Thursday as it is on Monday nights. They're not getting as big of a speed boost as they do in some other cars. But he's right on his tail. We'll look for Kirkbride to make a mistake here.
Yeah, he just wasn't close enough to grab a full draft there.
Yeah.
Like by inches, I think.
Right.
So a little farther back, I'm just grabbing some of the action back here for you. Wozniak, Moses, Ricker, Merriman, Ludden. Holy jumping.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff going on here.
We will keep an eye on those times up front and follow this group as we've got, looks like Ludden getting past here.
Moses sideways again. Ab Wozniak takes evasive maneuver to get around him.
Wow. They're asking where Audi, Justin Lamke in the Audi is in 20th. My man's Lammer.
Boy, pretty intense action here. Ludden takes it wide. Moses goes by. Dan Thorpe up the inside. He goes by as well.
Ludden's got some damage.
You know, a lot of unforced errors going on here.
Well, I think Ludden's got suspension damage. So I don't know what caused that, but yeah, he does. He absolutely does. So he actually might pit at the end of this lap.
Okay, get back up there to Szabo and Kirkbride. I think Szabo's going to grab him down through here.
Got it.
Down in Eau Rouge, and I mean, he is right on his bumper.
He was this close last time, though. You see Kevin gets a little bit of distance there out of El Rouge. I don't know why. Maybe that Mercedes is able to maintain the pace a little better. But like you said, he's a little closer. But the draft just not giving him a huge boost of speed here. You have to win to the braking zone.
He's going to go for it. I smell this.
Kevin gives him room. And takes the inside.
Oh, nice. Nice
wow.
racing there, boys.
Yeah. And Parsons says, thank you. Can you do that again?
Yeah. Keep at it, guys. Keep at it. Oh, Jesus. I think Aaron's going to give Peter a little push to get by.
We'll see.
I don't mean to get by Peter. Give Peter a push to get by Kevin.
Right.
So pretty intense action there. You know, Zack and David out in P1 and 2, they look pretty solid up there. But the rest of them, they're fighting all the way through this whole grid here from P1 to P16.
Right.
Mark DeGraw takes it wide. Cuppet goes by, and Montgomery is gonna Montgomery gets by. So Salem on a recovery from lap 1 incident is now, and he just about takes it off. He's now P9.
That's Savo getting by Kirkbride. I don't remember where these guys
and
were.
Parsons down on the inside taking a look.
Yep.
The big legs of the Viper. He's in the draft. Oh, boy. Right up tight. He's got Kirkbride, too. He has got him in here.
Kirkbride's not going to give that spot up
too
easy.
deep.
Goodness, yep. I had to check up there and get back on track safely. So Kirkbride will look to take those spots back. None of these guys are have their position in stone for the race. Hefner and Maros are already at the front, but they've already got their spot for next week. So they're just doing it for the points here. It's these guys, second, third, fourth, and fifth that are really important positions for next week.
So it's taken 7 laps for these guys to somewhat settle down. Somewhat.
Uh-oh, Kevin Kirkbride makes a mistake.
Out mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
Taylor sees it.
He's in Matt Taylor's sights now. Matt Taylor on the outside. I don't know if that's a good idea. But he's got the inside into this corner. Guess it was.
Well done.
Yeah. We'll see if Kirkbride can
I'm
respond.
not sure how he did it, but that was very well done.
Yeah.
I couldn't have made that move. You know, outside, inside there at that chicane, that was... and good on Kevin, too, to give him room. Now, maybe Kevin is suffering from a little bit of... Is Kevin locked in?
No, he's not. He wasn't one or two, so... We'll see where he finishes. It's Hefner.
Montgomery having a run at Cuppet. Down the Kemmel straight. Cuppet taking a very defensive line, and good on him.
Yeah. Keeps that position for now. DeGraw is, let's see.
Oh, yeah.
He's in 10th.
I just flicked back there. Mark DeGraw's in this battle as well.
Yes, he is. So he's been fighting here with Salem Montgomery. Yeah, Japan's doing well. The Nissan definitely pretty quick here. Hefner in first, Taylor's in fifth. Responding to what I'm seeing in chat at the moment.
Just a little update there. You know, farther back in the pack, we've got our new driver, Justin Lampke, sandwiched between Omar Gomez and Bjorn Heyman. And they're duking it out back there for P17. But a good battle going on a little farther back. And I didn't quite see what happened to JT, but he is back in 24-3 now. Montgomery being the fly in the ointment on Cuppet there into the chicane. Just can't quite get it done there.
Yeah, there's a lot of action.
Yeah. Where are you, Jake?
I'm still watching Mark DeGraw here.
Yep. Just a little behind them. You can stay on that action, but Al Merriam is sitting in 11th and sort of got some clean air. You know, he's got a second gap between Zahn, who's behind him, but he's in behind that trio. You're following along and going, keep battling, boys. I'm closing that gap.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're on lap 9 out of 12, so we're winding down in this dash for the cash. Okay, a little farther up in the action there. 3 laps to go, and David Marosh is putting a little bit of heat on Zack Hefner. And Parsons is trying to put the heat on Zabo.
Further back, we'll watch Justin. Oh, as he gets it a little bit wrong through there, but he's right on the back of Omar Gomez. And he's got some fans, I think, in the chat room. I'm not sure if they're trolling or if they actually want to see this guy. I have no idea.
I've given up on that chat room tonight, boys. There is more stuff up there I've never seen before.
They're talking about the race now. We got some race conversation for the most part, but yeah.
I know. We got some good stuff.
Got it.
Kirkbride chasing Taylor, and Adamson chasing Kirkbride. Montgomery and Coppett. I mean, they're fighting all over the place. Zahn and Merriman and DeGraw.
Yeah.
Montgomery.
I guess with a couple laps to go, we should run through the order. Hefner's pretty comfortably in front, but, you know, David's not giving him much room. So we'll watch that gap. Just a couple laps. David looks to be running a little bit quicker. We'll see if that battle heats up. Peter Szabo is a little bit further back than in third place, but, of course, his position for next week's already – no, sorry, that's Hefner who's locked in. Peter Szabo, who's going to get a good position for next week. Aaron Parsons in fourth. Matt Taylor's a little further back in fifth place. Kevin Kirkbride's in sixth position. And behind him, his teammate Andrew Adamson. And then in eighth is Jonathan Cuppett in another Nissan. Salem Montgomery Jr. is back in ninth, so had a little bit of trouble. I think he started eighth, but still pretty good result here for he and Mark DeGraw in the Fords. Mark DeGraw 10th. Al Merriman 11th. David Zahn in 12th. Chris Moses is in 13th right now after his spin early. He's recovering. Abe Wozniak's in 14th. Dan Thorpe is in 15th, so good job pretty well so far for those guys. Brad Myers, after his early contact, is in 16th, so probably not as high up as he wanted to be. Sean Ricker also has had some problems early on. Jordan Heyman in 18th. Omar Gomez in 19th. The Lammer in 20th. And 21st is Iggy. Then Sergio Calderon further back in 22nd. 23rd is John Ludden after his pit stop for damage. And then JT Laro is all the way back in 24th, which makes you think he probably had to pit for damage as well. Indeed he did on lap 6. So, or 5 there maybe. So anyway.
Well, still good pressure going on. We're down. We're 10 out of 12. David Zahn is giving the boss, Al Merriman, a little bit of chrome bumper issue here and showing them all sorts of that Lambo, but Al's holding them off well.
Yes, indeed. And see Matt
And I don't know, is Salem and Mark DeGraw, are they teammates?
You know, it's hard to
Or are
tell
they just
because
running the
all
same
the
car?
Fords have the same paint job. There's 4 Fords, so I'm not sure, but I think they might be actually. I think Salem and Mark McGraw might be the teammates.
Well, there is no team orders in that team if there are teammates.
Yeah, those guys are battling it out.
Now, 11 out of 12. And David has closed the gap on Zack. So Zack is going to have to hold it together here.
Oh, Justin Lamke on the inside of Iggy here. Oh, he locks up. Manages pretty well there and then spins. It's a hard spot, but he leaves room and then just comes back to the line. Still got time to go for there. Up towards the front, you know, Hefner's pulled out that gap again on David Maros. So David Maros at this point is taking fastest lap, but both of these guys are moving along at just under a 2:17 here. So I'm expecting that Hefner will be able to hold him off, but nobody can make a mistake up here, that's for sure. Mark DeGraw, looks like he just got a little wide through there.
Yeah, they are definitely giving their all for these 12 fast and furious laps.
Yeah.
So they're all on softs. Tires are getting a little squealy right about now.
Yep, you got that right. You see lap times start to come down a little bit. I don't want to watch Hefner too much. I'm afraid I'll give the broadcaster's curse.
Final lap. One, two, three, four within 5 seconds of each other after 12 laps. Taylor's been able to hold off Kevin Kirkbride after getting by him. But then a bit of a gaggle. Chris Moses, after falling back to 17th after his spin, he's now up to 12th.
Oh, further up, teammates Peter Salvo and David Maros are nose to tail here. Oh, Peter Salvo on the inside. David lets him by, it looks like.
And I think you got that right. Lets him by, I think.
Yeah, I think maybe they recognized there was a difference in pace there at this point. Maybe David had to really push on his tires and is having more wear than either of these guys. But either way, oh, no, sorry. David's locked into P2. Peter Sabo gets, wouldn't have made a difference in that case. I don't know. Yeah, maybe Peter Sabo just has pace.
Yeah. Hefner and Maros are locked in.
Yep. Hefner's on the back straight for the last time. Looks like Chris Moses might put the moves on Mark DeGraw here in the last sector. Oh, but gets it wrong there on the exit. Didn't lose much time.
And Hefner coming across the line.
Hefner first place. Sabo second place. David Maros gets third. Parsons fourth. Taylor fifth place. Kevin Kirkbride sixth place. Andrew Adamson in seventh. Cuppet eighth. Sale Montgomery Jr. in ninth spot. Al Merriman in 10th. A little better result than we've seen for him so far this season. David Zahn in 11th. Chris Moses 12th. Mark DeGraw is in 13th. Abe Wozniak finished 14th. Dan Thorpe, his teammate, is in 15th. Brad Mary's, 16th. Sean Rickers in 17th. Bjorn Heyman 18th. Looks like Omar Gomez and Iggy are still battling it out here for 19th position. And,
with Justin Lemke in there. A little bumping going through there. They're not giving up.
Justin gets a little loose there and recovers. Good recovery there. Good recovery. Goodness gracious. So Sergio's coming around here. Then we got JT Lauro and John Ludden. So actually, I think JT has gotten by Ludden. Maybe Ludden had another little mistake there.
Well, that was pretty interesting all the way to the end. You know, these short races, I just love them, Jake. You know, they're just so intense.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah. Are we going to talk to Hefner, you think?
Yeah, what for?
Yeah, we already talked to him. We know how he wins. He just drives.
Yeah, they won.
He just goes fast.
You know, we got a long race next week. We'll bring the winners up next week.
You got it.
You know, very interesting race. Very interesting chat room tonight. I'm having a blast here tonight.
Yeah.
Boy, what a bunch of battles going out there. It's going to be intense next week too.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out where the new interest came from. Maybe the Landman really is quite an attraction, quite an addition to our field here if he's bringing that many inspired guests. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Abe is messaging me.
Well, for everybody here at NAGP, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
And remember, NAGP is funded by donations by viewers and drivers like you.
Yes, indeed. You can head over to NorthAmericanGP.com if you want to check out our forums, if you want to donate money, if you want to hit the link to the Twitch page if you don't know where we are on Twitch or something. So anyway, join us next week for the feature race, the big race, and that'll be quite the adventure, I think. It'll be next week, Thursday at 9 p.m., and you can join Al and Brad Monday night for Montreal. So both of those should be great to watch, and we will see you next week.